All right, today I want to talk about the recruiting battle between OU and Texas ahead of OU-Texas, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kid folks? It's RJ Young. I am not on step milk. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. So it's OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. So Pro Football Focus gets us started with its Week 6 rankings of 130 starting FBS quarterbacks, but I'm only going to talk about the ones most people care about and a couple nobody cares about except, well, the hometown crowd. You'll know who I'm talking about when we get there. Joe Burrow, start with him. No quarterback has a higher overall or passer grade on passes targeted of at least 10 yards downfield as Burrow has dominated the first 6 weeks of college football. On such throws, Burrow has completed 57 of 77 attempts for 1,285 yards and 16 touchdowns, and all of which lead the country. The next on the list at number 2 is Jalen Hurts. He has the 5th most yards on deep passes, 533, but is by far averaging the most yards per attempt on such throws, 21.3. He currently is in possession of a 78.7% adjusted completion percentage that ranks 16th in the country, and he has yet to have a pass dropped in 2019. Receivers be real good at OU. Tua currently leads the nation with a ridiculous stat of 23 touchdowns against no interceptions and has a completion percentage of 76.4 for passes of 11 6-point yards per attempt. He's leading the country in passer rating from a clean pocket with 156.7. My God. After he led the country a year ago in the same regard. Also set an FBS record for passer efficiency. At number 5, Sam Ehlinger is averaging deeper depth of target this year than in the past, still sitting at a strong 75% adjusted completion percentage. His offensive line is playing well ahead of expectations and giving him a clean pocket 75% of the time when he drops back. He's rewarded the Longhorns with the country's 14th best passer rating when kept clean, throwing for 1,191 yards and 16 touchdowns. The latter tying for 3rd most in the nation. Red rivalry finna be lit. At number 58, Florida quarterback Kyle Trask benefited from his pitcher's duel with Bo Nix, ranked 88th. Trask is currently 9th among qualified signal callers with 123.7 as a passer rating on non-play action passes, completing 38 of 49 attempts, 451 yards, and 4 scores. For perspective, Bo Nix currently has the 10th most turnover-worthy passes in the country, uncorking 11 of them on just 112 attempts. His highs may be high, but his lows are near the bottom of the barrel as he's finished 2 games above 83 overall, but 2 games with a grade lower than 44.1. Yikes. At number 57, Spencer Sanders. He's done very well with the ball in his hands in the design run game, totaling 255 yards on 52 design carries, as well as another 250 on scrambles, breaking a whopping 29 tackles in the process. Now, teach him to throw the football, Gundy. At number 62, Austin Kendall averages just 7 yards depth of target through 6 weeks. That's bad. He's been sharp at times, currently holds a 74.5% adjusted completion percentage. And if he can cut down on the mistakes, 7 turnover per worthy passes, he'll quickly crack the top, is that 50? Ugh. Number 79, Zach Smith and the Golden Hurricane. See what I mean by local? Play an exciting brand of football. Yeah, right. When needed, as the former Baylor quarterback has completed 13 passes of at least 20 yards downfield for the nation's 7th most yards on those deep shots with 493. He's already outgrading his final season at Baylor, and if he can start completing passes at a higher rate, we can see him move up from there. Now, our headline focus tonight. Oklahoma's offense is known. The Sooners have gone from one Heisman candidate to another over the last 3 years, and most expect Jalen Hurts to receive an invitation to New York in December at a minimum. The Sooners average better than 53 points and 643 yards of offense per game, with Hurts leading the passing attack. 103 of 140 passes have been caught, while the offensive line has paved the way for over 1,400 yards rushing at 7.8 yards per clip. And now here's Nick Saban for our buzzword of the year.
I'm trying to get our players to listen to me instead of listening to you guys. You know, all that stuff you write about how good we are, and all that stuff they hear on ESPN, it's like poison. You know what I mean? It's like taking poison.
Headed into Saturday's Red River Showdown, the 6th-ranked Sooners know they can score on the number 11 Texas Longhorns. What most don't know is, can they stop the Longhorns from scoring? In 2 games against UT last year, OU gave up an average of 36 points allowed and 469 yards of offense. In both games, the Sooners have seen quarterback Sam Ehlinger and are familiar with his skill set. As a matter of fact, Lincoln Riley said, "I've got a lot of respect for him. The way he plays the game, the way he competes, and he's certainly the catalyst of their team. He's certainly what makes that group go. He's also got targets, which we're going to get to." Now, headed into the contest, 5-0, the Sooners face perhaps their toughest challenge of the season in a team that's capable of scoring with their offense and with their 3rd defensive coordinator in 3 games against Texas in 1 calendar year. For defensive coordinator Alex Grinch, this is the game many will be primarily judging whether his scheme and philosophy are even working. It will matter little that the Sooners rank inside the top 50 in total defense, scoring defense, pass defense, and 3rd down defense if they lose to a Longhorn team that has had to resort to using a 3rd-string quarterback as its 2nd-string running back. Rashawn Johnson has also been surprisingly good. While comparisons will continue and definitely be drawn between Grinch's defense and former OU coordinator Mike Stoops a year ago, remember Stoops got fired on his day off after OU's only regular season loss last year. There's a stat that sticks out when measuring how OU's defense performed in the first 5 games of 2018 and the first 5 games of this season. Takeaways. Mike Leach channels how all OU fans felt following the Red River rivalry game last year. Here.
Well, we're a very soft team. You know, we get a lot of good press. We like to read it a lot. We like to pat ourselves on the back. You know, and if we get any resistance, we fold. And what's amazing about this is most of these guys were on the same team last year that was a tough team. Last year's team was a tough team for us. And we got nearly the same guys, and now all of a sudden they're not tough. You know, they're fat, dumb, and happy and entitled.
From the day Grinch was hired at OU, the emphasis for his defense has been on earning takeaways, not just turnovers, like turnover on downs. He come up with a formula that brought him to this conclusion. 24 takeaways by the defense results in 9 wins, regardless of how good or bad the offense performed. In 5 games, the Sooners have recorded just 6 takeaways. Last year, that number was 5. At the rate OU is earning takeaways, they'll finish well short of Grinch's desired 24. And it ain't going to be easy to do that against this Texas team. Against Texas, recovering a stripped fumble or intercepting a single pass could mean a win where the Sooners might otherwise see a loss. The challenge is complicated by the skill players Texas boasts. There are 7 receivers on this UT depth chart who stand 6'4" or taller. Both Colin Johnson and Malcolm Epps stand 6'6", and there's plenty of speed in the slot. UT freshman wideout Jake Smith was named National Gatorade Player of the Year, and as a senior, he was a big play threat, and is a big play threat each time he holds the ball. UT leading receiver Devin Duvernay has caught 45 passes in 5 games, 463 yards, and is fast as they come. He clocked 10.27 in the 100-meter dash in high school. For the Sooners, who don't boast a starting defensive back as tall as even 6'4", Brennan Eagles, the challenge of staying in front of and slowing down bigger, longer receivers might be the defining characteristic of this game. Was last year, just ask L.J. Humphrey on 3rd and 19. Keontay Ingram planned to attend OU Junior Day back in February 2017. Before they could make the trip out with his family out of Houston, his brother puked, and they never made it to Norman. Ingram said it's a big reason why he ended up at Texas. Now, on the other hand, CeeDee Lamb attended Houston Baptist's satellite camp in June 2016. He had offers from big-time FBS programs, but he wanted to talk with Texas and then head coach Charlie Strong. But he hadn't paid the $40 to attend the camp, so Texas coaches couldn't talk with him. He committed to OU a month later. He's probably going to be the first-round pick for Oklahoma next year, or one of, 3. He's already torched Texas for 316 yards receiving with 2 tuddies, including 6'4", 167 for the belt last year. I say all this to say it's really that close in recruiting, and recruiting matters. 22 of 44 players on each of the projected starting depth charts held offers from both OU and Texas. And it's been close in many of those recruiting battles. Ronnie Perkins took an official to Texas in 2017. He committed to OU a month later. Taquan Graham took an official to OU, signed with Texas 4 days later. Pat Fields took a visit to Austin for Junior Day at Texas and committed to OU 8 days following that. To the chagrin of many Texas fans, OU continues to rate Texas for the best high school football talent in the entire state. Over the past 8 years, Oklahoma has signed 68 Texas high school products. Over the last 3, they've signed 31. All Texas has put together is just, 38 homegrown prospects in the last 3 cycles. By the way, what's good, Brew McCoy? How's Cali Levin feeling? Huh? Though it doesn't seem to matter as much as Horns fans think it does that they recruit in-state. Charlie Strong signed 59 during his time. It was run out on a rail. Herman has already run a Sugar Bowl and put together a 10-win season, even if the season came with 4 losses, including 1 to Maryland. Yeah, we didn't forget. In this rivalry, it's about talent development, though. Texas hasn't had a first-round pick since 2015. That's the program's longest stretch without a first-round draft pick since the 1970 AFL-NFL merger. Put another way, Baylor, Houston, TCU, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and UTSA have all produced first-round draft picks during that stretch. And the Roadrunners haven't even had a football program for 10 years yet. In 2014, Texas didn't have a single player selected in the NFL draft at all. First time that's happened since 1938, which is also a year where KU beat Texas in football. Oklahoma has had 3 first-round draft picks in the past 2 years and 393 over the life of the program. That's 4th all-time among all schools, with 5 first-round selections in the last 10 years. Texas has seen a total of 345 draft picks, and it's becoming harder for Texas to keep in-state talent in-state. Out of 43 top 50 2020 committed recruits from the state of Texas, 27 have committed to schools within the state's traditional regional recruiting region: Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. And as long as that's true, this regional rivalry will always be nationally righteous. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.